Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Wednesday Night OWCP Chats, live with Chris and Gini.
Hi.
Jesus.
Hi.
I really don't know what to do with that.
Hi.
She's going to be a clown the whole time, probably.
So I'm not feeling that good. A lot of you saw that I did IV therapy and ozone therapy today, and they increased my ozone, and I'm nauseous to my stomach, which is normal.
And so is the weirdness.
Anyway, so hello, Ron. So tonight what we're going to be talking about is all the free forms that Chris has put on the
Wow, I'm going to have to do all the
Federal
talking tonight, huh?
Injury Center's website. Hello, everyone. How are you guys tonight?
Hey.
Don't forget to share. So these forms are really important. They're not approved by OWCP or DOL. It's forms to help you.
They're approved by me.
Yeah.
Which is probably more important.
Probably more important.
Yeah.
So they are there to help you and for you guys to understand. So he has them printed out. We're going to show them to you. Sorry, not looking good. Oh, yeah. Thanks, guys. So he's going to, I'll show them after he's done talking about them because a lot of you ask about what you should tell your doctor, what you should say, and these forms are going to help you guide you to make your work injury hassles a little bit better. So, since there's so many of them, let's get started. Please don't forget to follow, like, and share. So go ahead and click that share button and share away.
Yeah, and seriously, hit the follow button.
Yeah.
I think there's almost 6,400 people.
Yeah, we're trying to get to like...
Out of 2.8 million federal employees.
Yeah,
So
how can you guys help me get to 25,000 followers?
That'd be really great, actually. Because we'd be able to help a lot more people if there were more followers here. So if you could just hit the follow button, we'd really, really appreciate that.
Yeah. So, again...
And it's right below, actually. It says follow. It's spelled F-O-L-L-O-W. And
is that how you spell it?
I like to spell things. Yeah, so just hit the follow button, please. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And then like and share.
Yeah. So if you don't see me talking too much, I'm just nauseous to my stomach and dizzy, but I'll try to be friendly and happy. Ding. Anyways, let's get started. Again, all these forms you can find at www.federalinjurycenters.com.
Oh, good Lord. www.breakingowcp.com are where these forms are.
Oh, I thought they were on the Federal Injury Centers.
Anyways, these are on the Breaking OWCP site. And there's a tab that says free downloads. Click the free downloads tab, and you'll see these forms.
So you see I'm not in good shape, folks, but I'm still on here smiling away.
And for, I just don't know what to say about this. I don't have the same goofy energy that she does tonight. All right, so this is the book at breakingowcp.com. The website is the title of the book. Go check it out. But check it out. I mean, look, I want you to get the books, obviously. But the free forms are what we're talking about tonight. So you got to go to that website to find those forms. So go do that. There's 5 of them that we're going to discuss. There are only 5 of them, period. We're going to discuss all 5. Because I want you to understand why these are so valuable and why they're going to help you. And what you're going to use them for. So, again, share this. Everyone hit the share button right now.
Only 5 shares?
Yeah,
Come on, you guys could do better than that.
Hit the share button so that your friends and coworkers will see this video.
Sure.
And I'm not going to be able to deal with this all night. I'm just telling you.
What did I do?
Everything.
I don't feel good.
So she's going to not talk, and I'm going to do the talking. That way, this will all make perfect sense. That's the way this is going to be tonight. All right, so let's talk about these forms at breakingowcp.com. What I've done is I made forms that are addressing some of your most serious problems. And I said, okay, how do we affect this problem or attack it differently? Because one thing we do is, we are actively trying to find doctors to be part of federal injury centers. If we had a doctor, within range of every federal employee, you wouldn't need this stuff because we train our doctors in the offices to do this work. But what I'm doing is anticipating that you don't have a doctor in your area, and what are you going to do about it? Because I can't tolerate any longer, and you shouldn't either,
right,
not reporting your injuries, not getting the help you need, not getting the forms that you need, and so forth. So what I've done is I've made it easier. So I want to start with my newest form. If I can find it. Aha. I called it the Form for Reporting New CA1 or CA2 Injuries. You're not going to be able to really see the form. But if you go online at breakingowcp.com, you'll see the forms. The problem that I'm solving with this form is people saying, my supervisor won't give me my CA1 form, my CA2 form. My supervisor won't let me report my injury. Or I'm scared to report my injury to my supervisor. I'm worried about what's going to happen if I do.
Right.
So this says, I, fill in the blank, am exercising my right to report an OWCP work-related injury or condition. For a CA1 injury, my date of injury was blank, and today's date is blank. So the reason I did the date of injury and today's date is to show that you're now, if it's a CA1, eligible for a CA16 and for continuation of pay, because the length of time between the date of injury and the date of reporting determines whether or not you can have those those benefits. For all CA1 injuries that are reported within 7 days of the date of injury, I'm entitled to a Form CA16. For all CA1 injuries that are reported within 30 days of the date of injury, I'm entitled to up to 45 days of COP. And I have 3 years from the date of injury to report my injury, so I'm well within the time frame required to be able to get help for my injury. And then it says for a CA2 condition, I have 3 years from the date I reasonably was aware that my condition was work-related, and that date was blank. So we're giving the supervisor all the necessary information. You're going to go right back and put this into your CA1 and CA2 forms as well, these dates. But I added some other things here, and I'm going to try to make it to where you can see this okay. But do you see the from OSHA? Okay. So what I did is I went right to OSHA's website, and I copied and pasted the list of 9 employee rights. And it says, federal law entitles you to a safe workplace. Your employer must keep your workplace free of known health and safety hazards. You have the right to speak up about hazards without fear of retaliation. You also have the right to, and there's an arrow, you see the arrow, I've added that arrow there, see it? You also have the right to, number 6, report an injury or illness and get copies of your medical records. So that's the whole point. You have the right to report an injury, and so we put that from OSHA. I've got the Code of Federal Regulations, 20 CFR 10.110, that says that the employer shall complete the agency portion of Form CA1 or 2 no more than 10 working days after receipt of notice from the employee. The employer shall also complete the receipt of notice and give it to the employee along with copies of both sides of Form CA1 and CA2. So I put the law in here that says to the supervisor or the agency, not only do you have to do this, but you have to fill out these forms and you've got to give them copies. So I added that law there. And then I added 18 USC, which stands for United States Code, 1922, which says whoever induces, compels, or directs an injured employee to forego filing an injury claim shall be fined, imprisoned, or both. So what I'm telling the supervisor is, don't get in the way of filing this injury. Don't mess with me today. You can go to jail. And that's the law.
Yeah, we tell you guys that every time about filing your injuries.
Yeah, and finally, the 20 CFR 10.16, the Code of Federal Regulations, says that a number of statutory provisions make it a crime, that's their wording, not mine, a crime to file a false or fraudulent claim or statement with the government in connection with a claim under FECA, which is workers' comp, or it's also a crime to wrongfully impede a FECA claim. So I put this form together so you can take it to your supervisor and say, hey, supervisor, I need a Form CA1 or CA2. I need to fill that out. And if they say no, yeah, I know, but I'm going to give you this form now. It says not an official OWCP form because it's not, but the laws are real. They're word for word, and you can Google these and find them yourself. And so what we're doing is telling the supervisor, hey, don't mess with us today, okay? I'm hurt, and I want to report my injury, and I have a right legally. And you, supervisor, have an obligation to follow the law. So that's what this form's about, and I hope it's helpful to you. My goal is to have fewer and fewer of you coming to me saying my supervisor won't let me, because that should not be an option.
Or I'm being harassed or terminated or any of that. They can't. I keep telling you, they can't.
Are there any questions coming in about how to report an injury?
I'm not sure yet. Let me take a look, because I've been posting. Let's see your questions. Steve says, hey guys, thanks for doing this. Not to change the topic of this video, but was wondering if you could do a video on using eComp. Just use it for the first time helping someone.
Yeah, sure. I'll do a eComp video soon. And I'm probably going to have to put together like a step-by-step procedure on what to do with eComp, but that should be easy too. I'm happy to help out with that. And thanks for the request. That stuff is, I appreciate it, because if I ever run out of material, I know I can come to you guys and you'll tell me what to talk about.
Genie, no, we don't know any doctors in California, no
Not yet.
orthopedic surgeons or anything like that. Yeah. So we're sorry about that.
Not yet.
So please don't forget to like, follow, and share. That's what I was doing. And let's go on with the next form.
Okay, so the next form is solving the problem of not getting a CA-16, and it's called Request for Form CA-16. Again, it's not an official form, but it's got the rules. Okay, it's got the law, and you need this, because what's happening is you guys are going to your supervisor with a legitimate CA1 condition or injury that happened today. You reported it within 7 days, and you have a right. You're eligible for CA-16, which pays all your medical bills for the first 60 days or until your claim's approved. Once your claim's approved, all your medical bills are paid anyways. Medical, therapy, imaging, surgeries, whatever. But when you don't get a CA-16, then you kind of start the situation by making healthcare decisions that are based on money.
Yeah.
Or based on a lack of money, which means you don't get the healthcare you need. And so your supervisors are saying, I don't have to give you a CA-16. They're saying your injury is not severe enough, or which is none of their concern, okay? The rule doesn't say you get a CA-16 if the injury's severe enough. It says you get one if you report within 7 days. So this says, you put your name, your signature, the date of injury, the date you requested this form, because if it's within 7 days of the injury, you're obligated to have it. It says the time of the request, because they have 4 hours to give it to you from when you request it. And then you put your supervisor's name, and then you write the date and time that the form was either issued or denied, okay, for your records, because you're going to file a grievance if you don't get it. And that's right, I said grievance. I said it. You're going to file a grievance. It says, pursuant to CFR 20.300A and B, I hereby request Form CA-16 to cover any health-related expenses I may incur over the next 60 days as a result of the CA1 traumatic injury that resulted from my required job duties on, and you type in the date, or write in the date. And down here, the CFR that I just mentioned says, letter A, when an employee sustains a work-related traumatic injury that requires medical examination, medical treatment, or both, the employer shall authorize such examination and or treatment by issuing a Form CA-16. The employer shall, which is absolute. It doesn't say they might or they may or depending on who knows what. They shall, okay? And in letter B says the employer shall issue Form CA-16 within 4 hours of the claimed injury. So you didn't know that unless you follow us here. Your supervisor definitely didn't know that. And so what you're going to do is just give them this form, notifying them of the rules and what their responsibilities are. This is not an effort to threaten management. I'm not about that. It's an effort to use the law in your favor, to your benefit. So that's a request for Form CA-16. Any questions about that? Are there any questions at all?
Not yet. They're listening.
Nobody's asking questions yet.
No, that's good.
Okay.
These are all about the forms.
All right. This next one is one of my favorites because it occurred to me a while back that, there's not a doctor within range of every federal employee. And that means that you don't have doctors that know how to write these narrative reports. They don't understand the details that are required to get a claim accepted. And then it hit me. You know all the details. You were the one that got hurt. You have all the details. And so I made this form called an OWCP CA1 Work Injury Employee Statement. Again, not an official form to be redundant, but it's a form that's a worksheet for you. You put your name, date of injury, your time of injury, the place of injury, the date you reported it to your supervisor, the time you reported it, and the name of the supervisor you reported it to. All of that information happens to need to go into the doctor's narrative. But then it says, describe in great detail what and how the injury happened. And, you've got this space at the bottom of the form. You can always get a second piece of paper. But the key here is to write extraordinary detail so the doctor can read it, and the doctor can use your details in the doctor's narrative. And if you put all the details required to get a claim accepted, your doctor will get your claim accepted. And so what we've done is, what I've done here is I've said, we can't count on the doctors to do a good job because they're not trained yet. But we can count on you to know what happened to you. And so you fill out this form and give it to your doctor and tell the doctor to use that information in his or her medical narrative.
Steve says, I filed a CA2 for COVID. Do I get medical bills paid? If so, how?
So COVID's kind of a different deal. The answer is yes. They're probably not going to argue with you that it was work-related. Check out our Twitter feed. It's at Fed Injury Center. At Fed Injury Center. Several months ago, I posted a picture of a document that's hanging in federal workplaces. I think it's specifically to the post office, but I'm pretty sure it applies to all federal employees. And it outlines what you need to do and how you handle this. So go take a look at that. At Fed Injury Center is the Twitter handle. And go find that form. You'll find it. It's the only thing on my whole Twitter page about COVID, and it's pretty close to the top.
Suzanne said, do you have a printable form for your medical doctor visit list?
All right, so I'm not sure what you're referring to, but I do have this form.
Let's see if I can put it up closer.
So this is used so you can be paid on your CA7s.
Yeah.
And so when you go to the doctor, you have the therapist or the doctor sign this and fill it out. Date of visit, the time you were there, the time you left, and your next visit date and time. And so you attach these to your CA7 forms, and that's the whole purpose of this form, is to help you get paid when you're out of work to see the doctor, to go to therapy, or to get an MRI, or whatever you're doing, right? So that's what this form's about. I don't know if that's what you're referring to, but if you're referring to something else and you've got a really great idea, I'll probably create a form and add it. So, but I need more information on that.
She said page 75 of your book is what I'm referring to.
Really? 75? You got the book?
Look at it. She's on it.
I happen to have my book right here, so let me check it out. Yeah, that's exactly this form. Thank you for...
Suzanne, it is, yeah.
Yeah, that's this form. And if you go to breakingowcp.com, it's one of the free, the 5 free forms in the free downloads. Hey, thanks a lot for that. Giving me the exact page number. But yeah, that's for sure the exact form that you're talking about.
Kurt, just let you know that after the video is over, then we can change it to for hearing impaired. We can't do it during.
Yeah, Facebook doesn't allow it.
It doesn't allow it.
Yeah, so we have to do it afterwards, and it's for people to rewatch it. We hate that, actually. I think it's a flaw on Facebook, but it doesn't allow us to do it until we have posted the video.
So he said thanks.
But we will.
He said thanks. I wish this was a ASL equipped for person who can't hear.
I know.
What do you do if you get no help from injury compensation team at the USPS district offices? There is personnel with injuries that have disabilities, and you have federal workers supposedly are the experts, do nothing when asked.
Yeah, that's the whole reason we're here. You know, the whole reason we do anything is because we know you're not getting help from injury comp or from whoever, you know, that is supposedly responsible for helping you. They're not. And while there are exceptions to that, I mean, we've got a couple of supervisors here that follow us and are, I think, by all accounts, great people, great supervisors, and doing the right thing for you. Unfortunately, that's the exception to the rule from what I see. But the question is, you know, what do you do when you don't get help? Call us, and we'll help you. Some people, their first instinct is say, well, get a lawyer. Well, that's not my first instinct. I don't think you should do that. That's expensive. The lawyer that we know and love would probably say, hey, you don't need me. What you need is the rules. And so that's why I'm doing these things. You know, these forms are here because your supervisors, your injury comp, HR, they're not following the rules. And I know they're not following the rules. You know they're not following the rules. So I'm showing them which rules they're breaking with these forms. And so I'm hoping that, you know, that'll help. But also you can call us anytime. You know, we've got a team of people that are here to help you. You can Facebook message us, call the 877 number, whatever it takes. We're happy to help you. If we don't have an office close to you, and we probably don't, we've only got 7, locations right now, we'll still help you. Okay, this is what we do. It's our mission. Every company has a mission statement. Our mission is to help everybody, no matter what, period. So we're happy to help.
Okay, so Chantel, can you get the book? Chantel, Chris wrote this book, and it helps everyone with your work injuries. I just pinned, if you see it right there, right here, I just pinned it down below. If you need the book, you go to the website.
And it's in the description of this video, too.
Yeah, or if you need to call us, our phone number's down on there. So I put everything on there. The book is $14.95. It's free shipping.
Suzanne said, your book has been a daily read for me.
Oh, that's good.
That's awfully nice. Thank you so much.
Darren said, will most of the work injury clinics be capable of helping you get the right forms you need to help you?
Absolutely. So when I bring on a new doctor, we train the hell out of them. I mean, they're not even allowed to see their first patient until they're trained, or unless Jennifer, who's our national case manager, is involved in the case so that she can walk them through what to do. But we really are fanatical about training, and so all of our doctors understand all the forms. They have access to the forms. They can print them for you. They can show you how to get them. They know the rules.
No, he wasn't talking about federal injury centers. He meant work injury clinics in general. Will they help?
Well, I can't speak to any other work injury clinics. I'm sorry. I can only speak to mine.
Yeah, Darren, we don't know about any other clinics out there that do work comp. Like Chris said, we're just talking about federal injury centers franchises.
Yeah, look, my offices, I require them to be experts. I can't speak to the other offices. I know for sure they're not experts, sadly.
And Wendy said, my doctor referred me to another doctor who is not a work comp doctor. Will the referral cover seeing the doctor?
It will. So generally speaking, any referral from your treating doctor will be covered, but OWCP frowns upon referrals outside of their network, so to speak. It's generally better for you to find a doctor that's credentialed with OWCP, because those that aren't can't bill for the services they provide to you, and they may want to bill you, and I don't want you to get billed personally.
Tanya Ruiz says, hi guys, OWCP once again denied my claim. Now they're just nitpicking everything. So what's my next option?
Reconsideration. Take the denial to the doctor, let the doctor read it, and write a rebuttal narrative. We don't give up. We don't give up. We just take the denial letter and we argue with them. That's it. We do reconsideration.
Tanya, what I want you to do is get in touch with Jennifer tomorrow.
She may have already, but if you haven't, definitely let's do it.
Contact her at the number below, because that'll go to Jennifer, and let her help you with this. And I know Jennifer said she's going to be on. Jennifer, if you're on, expect a call from Tanya Ruiz.
Yeah.
She's in Boston.
And Tanya, if you haven't spoken to Jennifer, you're in for a treat, because she's a real pro. She's one of the great OWCP minds in this country, so you'll be really, really glad to speak with her. I guarantee it. Okay. Oh, no more questions?
No.
You guys are not making me work very hard tonight. All right, here's the last form. This is the 5th one, and I'll go back and do a summary of everything I talked about before. This is actually the last form I'm talking about. Is the first one that I ever made, and I made it way before I even wrote this book, way before I created that website. I made this form 5 years ago, probably. It's a request to change treating physicians. So in order to change doctors, you have to write a letter to the claims examiner and try to convince them to say yes. They don't have to approve changes of treating doctor. Usually if you're going from a specialist to a general practitioner, they'll deny it, which is just silly, because general practitioners generally know more about OWCP than specialists. But there are other reasons they will allow you to change, but it's not automatic. People have no idea. They're like, hey, and I hear it all the time, how do I change doctors? So let me start by saying I am not here advocating that you change doctors. I've never done that. I've never said even change your doctor from that person over there who I don't know and come to my doctor. I've never done that because I think that's unethical. Look, I just keep, look at my hat. It's like so twisted. Okay. I think it's unethical for me to tell you to change doctors that you chose. Like we tell people all the time, the choice of doctor is your right. And I'm going to be the last person to get in the way of it. But if you come to me and say, hey, Chris, how do I change doctors? This is how, okay? So this form is a bunch of check boxes. I don't recommend turning in this form because they don't recognize it. It's not an official form. But you use this form to help craft a letter that you send to OWCP. You know, it has your name, your social, your claim number, your date of injury, and it says to whom it may concern. And you've got these choices, and maybe it's not any of these, okay? My treating physician has been unable or unwilling to get my claim approved. That sounds like a good reason to change. My original treating physician is too far for me to drive. You know, it's blank miles from home. My original treating physician does not specialize in OWCP. That kind of seems like a big deal. I'm not getting better. And to me, this is my favorite. Just so you know, this one's my favorite. I'm not getting better under the care of my original treating physician, and I want to get back to work full duty. I don't know how you use that as your reason, and a claims examiner says no. Okay, they want you to get back to work too. So I love that reason, but it's not a guarantee. And the last one is my treating physician no longer treats OWCP work injuries. If that happens, it's an automatic. You're going to get a change. Please allow me the opportunity to get my injury claim approved. I'm experiencing the following problems by not having an approved OWCP claim. And I list problems that people tell me they have. Loss of sick and annual leave, exhausted my FMLA, loss of income, anxiety over loss of employment. I fear my condition will worsen, unable to return to work full duty, harassment by my supervisor, fear of federal disability retirement, cannot afford medical care for my injury, and other. And so what I'm trying to do is just say, I'm trying to get you to see, this is how you write the letter. You have to put this information in there. Give the claims examiner a good reason to say yes. And people don't know how to do it. So if you get this letter or this form, request to change treating physicians, it'll help you write your letter to the claims examiner and hopefully help them approve your change of treating physicians. If your doctor's no good, you're not getting better, your claim's not getting approved, your doctor's 100 miles away, whatever, and you want to change, you should be able to. And but like I said, it's not automatic, but this will help.
Patty says she goes to the Clearwater office, having a hard time getting OWCP to expand my diagnosis. Even though the physician has sent a letter in several times requesting it, she says she goes to federal injury centers.
Yeah, so she's having trouble with diagnosis expansions. And, the doctor here in Clearwater definitely knows everything there is to know about expansions. So hang in there. If you have a legitimate diagnosis, it will be approved. Okay? We have, I think Tom just said we're like at 93% approval rate. So our approval rate is like off the charts. Nobody can touch our approval rate. So it'll be approved. For the rest of you that aren't going to the Clearwater doctor, we're talking about diagnosis expansions, meaning you need a new diagnosis added to your existing approved claim. That's an expansion. And it requires a medical narrative explaining in great detail why that new diagnosis should have been approved in the original claim. These are not automatic unless you're with us, and we write these for a living. So, but if you're going to a doctor that's not federal injury centers, tell your doctor you need a diagnosis expansion report. And by the way, many of you know this already, but I just finished my second book, the follow-up to Breaking OWCP. It's Breaking OWCP Volume 2. It was really original with the title. I just didn't change it. I added Volume 2. And but the subtitle to it was something that was really meaningful to me based on my interactions with you. And it's called You Are Not Alone. And that's really close to my heart, that you're not alone. It starts by, I'm here. She's here. You're really not alone. But I'm teaching you to teach others, to be the mentor to someone else. I'm telling stories of people that have had problems in the past and teaching the lessons that had they known the lessons in advance, they wouldn't have experienced those problems. In the book, I have a chapter that goes into great detail on diagnosis expansions. That's why I brought that up. So for those of you that are really interested in that subject, it'll be in the book, and that book will be out soon.
And you guys are asking about the book right there. I just pinned it right there. If you see it, I pinned the comment below. You can contact us by the 877 number, or if you want to buy the book, the volume 1 and then volume 2 will be on there when we announce it. But that's where you can buy the book. And those of you asking about the forms, that's also where you can get the forms. www.breakingowcp.com.
Yeah, that first book that I wrote, I was really proud of it. I was really happy to be able to offer that to you.
Yeah.
But this second book is, in my opinion, way better than the first one. Because I was able to see the first one, the things that I didn't like about it, because I'm my own worst critic, and fix those things. So the next book, I think, is going to be better. The topics are more expanded. You know what's really expanded? The chapter on schedule awards. Because I printed that chapter out along with the chapter on OPM, federal disability. And I gave those to attorney Eric Blowers and asked him to critique them. I have his critiques right over there. So I'm going to go make edits to the book. I said it's finished. I mean, it's finished. I just need to edit it. I'm my own editor. I don't let other people edit my work. I dot the I's and cross the T's and make sure that all the spellings are right. But in this case, I also sent it to Eric and said, hey, can you take a look at it?
Yeah, we got to spend 2 days with him
last week,
and it was really good because Chris and I had questions that he answered. So whenever you guys need help with certain things, we'll be able to answer it, because he does federal personal injury when you get in an accident while on the job.
Like car wrecks and stuff.
He does OPM disability,
which is federal disability retirement. He
does schedule award. And it's those 3 things. So.
Yeah, and so he's my expert on those topics. So what you're going to get is an expanded chapter on schedule awards. This book, the first book, has a chapter on it. But I added, okay, this is like a sneak preview. I've got a page on there that is a new worksheet that I just created. So talk about forms, okay? There's a worksheet in there on how you can personally calculate your own schedule award.
Yep.
I mean, let that one set in for a second. People are always saying, how do I know what my schedule award's going to be?
How much is this body part? How much is that
That's
body
right.
part?
So if you use my worksheet and fill in the blanks, you'll know what your schedule award should be. And so that'll be really powerful for you. So definitely look forward to that. And the OPM disability chapter, I wrote it begrudgingly. You all that know me know that I hate that topic. I don't want any of you to have to go on federal disability. To me, if you end up on federal disability, there was a massive failure somewhere along the way. We should avoid that. And a small percentage of people should get it, and the rest of you should go back to work and retire one day. But with that said, I still wrote a chapter because it's important, and so I wanted you to know about it. And Eric did some edits on that chapter as well. So you're going to get the benefit of knowledge from myself and from Eric Blowers on those 2 chapters. And I think you're going to like that and probably come out way ahead as a result of knowing the information.
Yeah. You're asking how can you get the number to call us? Right below, I pinned the comment. You see where the little push pin is? Right there where my finger is.
Yeah.
If you just tap it, it'll pop up and you'll get more information.
So I can see that Kim Davis, so I like to look at the comments in front of me. I'm looking at my screen. Kim Davis said he's amazing. I'm just going to assume, Kim, that you mean that I'm amazing.
No, she means Eric.
Damn it.
Yeah, sorry. Christopher, this made my day. Any federal injury centers, doctors in Salt Lake City, Utah? No,
not yet, but we're going in 2 weeks to Salt Lake City.
I'm from Utah. I'm from PG.
She went to UU.
Yeah, I'm a UUer.
In fact, she was a cheerleader at UU.
UU.
That's called winning if you're me. She didn't catch that. She's too loopy.
I know.
So, we're going to go to Utah, and it's one of the places actually I'm most interested in having a doctor.
I am, more than he is.
Utah and Iowa and Idaho. Those are the 3 places I want doctors more than any other place.
In Boise.
Yeah. But you know what? We're doing a heavy push on California right now as well, because we know that there's a huge need out there. And tomorrow, tell me what we're doing tomorrow. if you can put a whole sentence together, make it about tomorrow.
I was just about to talk about my snowboarding experience that I went today and I saw snowboards and I picked one out.
Okay, we're not doing that. All right, so
no.
tomorrow we're going to go to Orlando.
So tomorrow we're going to Orlando. We'll be at the Hyatt Regency Orlando from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and we check out Sunday. They have the Florida Chiropractic Annual Convention, and we are attending to recruit chiros or any doctors that come our way to become a part of the Federal Injury Center's franchise. And as you guys know, Chris likes getting chiropractors and then having you guys get a medical doctor for the practice. So if those of you that know any doctors that are going to be going there tomorrow, a lot of them are flying in tomorrow, let them come to our booth 718. We're going to be right up in the front where they're going to be doing their CEU training or training. Yeah. So we're looking forward to seeing anybody that wants to visit with us, even any of you federal folks that are in the area.
That'd be great, actually. If you're in the Orlando area or anywhere just close to it, come visit us.
Yeah.
The Hyatt Hotel is open to everybody.
Yeah.
Come find the Federal Injury Center's booth and come say hi. We'd really like to see you.
Remember, we're at booth 718.
You don't have to remember that.
And we have
our
some
big giant
giveaways.
logos. Our big giant logo is going to be up. We've got like an 8-foot long banner. You'll find us for sure.
I'm sure you're going to see us.
And our logo's on the tablecloth too. Hold on. So one thing I want to say to you, since we brought up chiropractors, is you're told all the time you can't go see a chiropractor. All the time they say chiropractors can't help you. That is flat out a lie. Okay, or just false, and they don't know the truth of it. But the Code of Federal Regulations says that a chiropractor can perform services in the nature of physical therapy as long as it's ordered and supervised by the medical doctor. That's in the law. So chiropractors do this all the time. The other thing that happens, you're not in the healthcare industry like I am, so you don't really know this like I know it. But there's a thing out in healthcare called medical integration. And there's actually whole companies whose job it is to put medical doctors and chiropractors together in the same practice. This is the most common thing in healthcare right now. And so I said that to tell you that you can find yourself in a chiropractor's office and your medical doctor's there too, because they work together all the time. Medical integration is a really big deal. Okay, so I like to recruit chiropractors who are getting crushed by every other payer in the world, like Blue Cross and Medicare and Aetna, because Department of Labor is really friendly and nice to chiropractors.
Yeah.
And it's a good business deal for them, which makes them good for you. So
that's
why I'm going after chiropractors.
You guys hear the rumors that you can't see a chiro if you have a work injury.
Hey, read Chantel's question about federal retirement.
Okay, you have to wait because then I'm going to lose it.
That's going to be a really good one.
Yeah. When you guys hear that DOL says that you can't see a chiro, it's because chiros can't sign off on your paperwork. That's what they mean. You just can't go to a chiropractic office.
Right, but chiropractors can do so much, and you should not be scared to be in a chiropractor's office.
Yeah, Everett Ray, go ahead and call the 877 number, and let's see if we could get you some help on... A lot of people don't trust the OWCP doctors. We hear that all the time. Yeah. And I know you've been under OWCP, you said, for 10 years. But let's see if there's someone that we could refer, to one of our offices.
Not refer. We're not a referral company. But
to our own office.
We can suggest that you go there and you decide. No. It's your decision, 100%.
How can you get the second book? When he prints it and has it all ready, we'll let you guys know that the book is available.
I don't even have a picture for the front cover yet. Okay, I wrote the book. It's ready to be edited, but I still have to fix the cover.
Kenneth Giles says, I have an approved claim for my knees and feet. After my knee surgery, I started having pain in my thigh and hip. Should this be extended or a new claim? So
that's called a consequential condition or consequential injury. I write about that in the book as well. You need to see your doctor and find out what's the situation. Is this a consequence of another injury, or is it a brand new one that you need a CA1 or CA2 for? If your doctor feels like it's a consequence of a existing condition, then you do a consequential injury report and add the new diagnoses to your existing claim.
Gina says, I filled out a CA7, CA7A, OWCP 915, OWCP 957 form.
Great.
I was sent a form, CMS 1500, but the doctor I went to does not accept insurance, so I paid out of pocket. Do I need to fill out a CMS 15 form to be reimbursed?
So that would probably help. The 1500 form is a doctor's standard billing form. They all use them. Every doctor uses those. It may help you to fill that out and attach it to your OWCP 915. It could help. You'll need your doctor to sign off on it, though.
Kim said, of course, Chris, you too. You were my first amazing savior, always indebted.
Now we're talking.
Christopher, you can hardly wait. I can't hardly wait either for a clinic in Salt Lake.
Yeah.
Suzanne said, I like what you said about the federal disability. I have multiple sclerosis. And I've been pushing through many obstacles and conditions so as to meet my retirement age.
Yep, I want you to make it all the way there. Okay, it's not a good deal to be on federal disability. It's not a good deal financially. It's a disaster.
Rebecca, she's another Utahan.
Hey.
We're going to come to Utah. Trust me, anything to get me to come there every month, I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to try to get my own commission on this sucker.
Commission? What are we talking about? Go to
Finding
questions.
doctors.
We'll go to questions.
Chantel said, can you explain the federal disability retirement, what you meant when you said the federal government messed up? Did you say the federal?
I don't remember saying the federal government messed up, but I'll tell you what I think about it still, because I think that the federal retirement system is messed up. What happens is, whether it's a work-related injury or something else, like you develop an illness and God forbid, or you wouldn't even believe the example that I wrote about in my book about a shark attack on
I read it.
disability. But if you happen to get a shark attack and go on disability, here's what I hate, is that by year 2, you're making 40% of your income. And who can live off of that? Like, nobody can live off 40% of their income. It's awful. And so that's what's messed up, is that when you get injured or you get sick or whatever, the government kind of takes care of you, but not that good. They take care of you at a rate of 40%, and I don't like that. Now, in the book, I talk about how you can get that 40% plus another 80% on another job at the same time. That's a little better, obviously, because we're talking 120% now. But I just don't like talking about federal disability because I prefer, especially as it relates to workers' comp, I prefer to have you get better versus have you become disabled. That's just my personal thing. I'm sure you agree.
Wendy said, does my doctor need to submit information to DOL for a non-workman comp doctor referral?
No. I mean, if I understand you, you're saying my doctor is going to refer me to a doctor who's not credentialed with OWCP. I mean, they can just make the referral. They don't need approval by anybody to refer you to anybody. So you can go wherever your doctor tells you to go. That's the answer.
Any more of those?
No, look, that's all the forms. So go ahead.
So if you guys want any of the forms we went over, which are very, very helpful and will guide you much smoothly with your injury process in a lot of ways, more than one, go to breakingowcp.com and click the forms. Is there a forms tab?
It's a free downloads.
Free downloads, because you guys always ask. So it's free downloads. You can print any of these forms, give them to your coworkers. Remember, they're not OWCP forms.
They're not.
Chris Helms made
But
forms.
I also have not, on purpose, and I could have. I still could, but I'm not. I could copyright them, but I don't want to. I don't want you to distribute them. I want you to mass distribute these forms.
Yeah.
I want all 2.8 million federal employees to know about them. So, no, I didn't copyright it. I want you to use them. And if you can suggest any improvements to them, I'll probably make them. But just to recap, I had a form on how to request a change of treating doctor. So take a look at that one. I have a form for reporting new injuries. So your supervisor stopped giving you a hard time because it's got the OSHA and the Code of Federal Regulations and the United States Code on there to help you. I've got a form for requesting Form CA-16 so that you can stop paying medical bills for the first 60 days after a CA-1 injury. It's got the rules on there as well. And it's got a neat little thing that lets you document whether or not you got your CA-16 within 4 hours, like the rule says. I've got a form for employee statements. Okay, you need to fill out an employee statement because the employee statement can help your doctor get your claim accepted. And, you know, nationwide, 1 out of 13 federal employees has an accepted claim. One estimated, okay, and I did the estimations, and I'm pretty good at math. 1 out of 7 injured people has an accepted claim, okay? Because by all accounts, half of everyone's got something going on, some injury or condition. Only 1 out of 7 people has an accepted claim. With us, it's like 6.5 out of 7, right? So it's a serious problem unless, if you're a federal injury centers, you're going to be fine. But outside of that, you're not. If you write a great employee statement, your doctor can write a great narrative report. So that's what that's for. And finally, I have a form to help you get paid on your CA-7s when you're out due to a doctor or therapy visit. So check those forms out. Go to breakingowcp.com. They're free. They're always going to be free. And if I come up with other forms will always be free. I'm not trying to make money off of these forms. I want you to get your claims accepted. I want you to get CA-16s. I want you to fill out your CA-1s and CA-2s so that your supervisor giving you a hard time. I want you getting all of your benefits, all of them, without retaliation. And that's what these forms are for, okay? The whole purpose is to prevent bad things from happening to you and to equip you with laws, rules, and regulations to give to your supervisors so they quit screwing around with you.
Yeah.
So those are free.
Yeah. Thank you for the hearts.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. You know, the book is a lot of detail on, information that will help you. You know, like the one lady said, it's nightly reading, which I'm humbled by that. But when you know the rules, you have power. Knowledge is power. It's not just a saying, it really is. And so when the second book comes out, I'll encourage you to get that too because knowledge is power, and I want you to have all of it.
So everyone's asking, when will the second book be out?
Yeah, it's funny. So the first book, I wrote it in 28 hours. Which I think nobody's ever written a book that fast before. I wrote it in 3 days.
I know of.
I sat on my back porch during COVID and just
wrote his life away for 3 days.
There was like
straight.
Smoke coming out of my keyboard. I got a new computer afterwards. And so this one has taken several months. And it's only because, since COVID started, now all of you, this is what I really love about federal employees. You're essential workers. And, for the most part, the vast majority of you work through COVID. And the whole country should be grateful to you for that, by the way, for keeping this thing going. I always say, and it's in the book, federal employees make this country go. When they break, we have to fix them. Well, you guys make the country go. But all along, you're still getting hurt because you're still working. But if you weren't a federal employee and you're just sitting at home, collecting unemployment, hoping for the next stimulus package, and burying your head in the sand and doing nothing, that wasn't me. I wrote a book. I've now written a second book. I started 2 new companies. And all the things I did were for you, 100%. So I took my downtime and expanded the ways we help you, these forms and everything else. But now we're in sales mode, trying to get more doctors.
To help you guys again.
Which is all about you, okay? I was just telling Tom, he was here last week, and Tom agrees. I'd give these things away for free just for doctors to say yes. Okay, I'm just looking for some doctors that are willing to say yes.
Yeah.
I want you so badly to have doctors within range of where you live. But that's been consuming me, and so it's taken longer to write the second book. With that said, it's written. It just needs to be edited and sent to the printer. I've actually got it ready to go. I just got to make my final edit, and I can send it to the printer and have 1,000 copies of it ready to go in a week.
Yeah.
So
we'll let you guys know as soon as it's ready.
I'll say within the next couple of weeks it'll be fully complete. Yeah. My goal is for it to be printed before we go to Utah on vacation. And then I'm going to take them with me and ship them out from Utah while on vacation. Because, I heard somebody say once, well, it's not vacation if you're working. But to me, the work that I do is too important to stop because it's for you. So I'll still be sending books out while on vacation because you guys need the information.
We don't do the pre-order only because we're physically hand typing your address, entering it in, and putting it in an envelope. So we wouldn't be able to make sure.
Well, no, I could
About the
pre-order.
pre-order.
It's funny. I thought about this today. I could do a pre-order, but then what ends up happening is you've spent your money, your $14.95, and you want your book, and it may not be ready. So I don't want to offer it or collect any money for anything until I'm ready to give you the book, out of fairness for you.
Yeah, Sue, the worksheet for the Schedule Award will
It's
be
in the book.
in volume 2 of Breaking OWCP. And again, guys, as soon as the book is hot off the press and ready to be shipped out, we will let you guys know. We'll just come on a live and just let you know, hey, it's ready to be ordered.
But we're so close. We're so close.
Yeah.
For the next 4 days, we're going to be in Orlando recruiting doctors. I may have some time to do some edits while I'm there. I'm going to definitely take it with me. And
don't forget signing it, Jerry.
you know what? It's so funny. It's so humbling. I sign every book. A union president today took advantage of the bulk orders and bought 25 discounted books.
In New York.
I signed all 25 of them just in case, and I am not famous. Just so you guys know, I'm not a famous guy. Okay? I'm just a regular dude who knows some stuff that you don't know yet, and I wrote a book about it. That's it. But I still sign them because, I know you want to. I think
Thank
that's
you
really
for the
nice.
hearts, the thumbs up. You
I really
guys are
appreciate
so
it.
sweet.
I mean, I love you guys. Look, the fact that anybody at all wants this book, the fact that everybody that's bought it has said they liked it, it really is humbling. The first book I ever wrote was not this book. I wrote another one, and it was a management book, and I printed one copy of it just for myself, and I wasn't sure of myself. I was really self-conscious of the book and the criticism that was inevitably going to come by printing a management book and people with a management background reading it and thinking they know more than me, and they don't, but they'll think it, and so they would probably say it. So I never published the book. I have one.
I read it.
One printed copy.
This was so dumb. I'm like, no, it wasn't. I thought it was pretty neat.
It was anyways, these books are better. For sure.
Ron Jackson said, Mr. Famous. And Jerry said, you're a superhero.
No. Look, this is all about you guys. If you stop being federal employees, I'd stop doing federal workers' comp. I think I'd lose interest.
You guys, listen, because you guys requested that you needed more doctors and we saw the need. This is why he sat there last Thanksgiving and said, you know what? We're going to build a franchise. We're just going to make a franchise so all federal employees can be able to, even if it's a couple hours drive, at least you have somebody in your state. We know there's some people that have to travel maybe 5-6 hours, but at least there's somebody to get your claims started and somebody that's being trained by our team and understands how to write a narrative to get it started. Because once you have the accepted narrative, you're pretty much okay from there. So
yeah, that's huge. And last Thanksgiving, and we're almost there again now.
Yeah, I know.
But essentially a year ago, you all were eating turkey and watching football, and I was
sitting on the couch right there.
I was recreating a company in an image that was better for you. So, and tomorrow we're going to start the sales process for that company, and hopefully it pays off huge for you.
And don't forget, those of you that refer a doctor in a city, we will pay a commission up to $15,000 if the doctor signs on. So
the reason it's up to that is it depends on what the franchise fee is. Some of the doctors are going to be incentivized to pay a discounted franchise fee.
Yeah.
And so I discount the referral fee, accordingly. But I like to pay referral fees. I love it.
And the check
with that said, this is not a referral company. I'm not talking about as a patient to a doctor. None of that, okay? I'm trying to recruit doctors for the patients. So it's a completely different thing.
Yeah, so the reason we tell you guys this and giving you guys this opportunity is because we know you guys need the doctor. So if you're in a great city and know a good doctor that's humble and honest and is willing to sit there and deal with all the dramatics of DOL and paperwork, he's our guy.
Yeah, or woman.
Or woman.
Yeah.
So, Again, if those of you that are in the Orlando area, we will be at the Hyatt Regency Orlando starting tomorrow till Sunday, 1 o'clock. We're out of there.
Come see us. That'd be a lot of fun.
Come find us. We have some little giveaways.
That'd be
some
so much
goodies, fun. And you get to meet the whole team. Myself, Chris, Tom, and Joe. We always talk about them. You guys don't get to see them. So you get to meet them face to face.
But most importantly, you get to see me, and that'll be fun.
Where do we get the referral form? Because I have 2 doctors. Oh!
Yeah, there's not a form for that.
There's not a form. If you contact...
But that's a good idea. I should make a referral form.
You should. What you need to do is private message me, and I will give you a number for the doctor to personally reach out and call me, and we'll get the process started there.
Rosa, that was a great question, because now I am going to make a referral form. Yeah. That's a good idea. I'm all over that. Thank you for that.
By tomorrow night, it'll be done.
Man, for real. That was a really good one. Yeah, why wouldn't we have that? I can't believe I didn't think of it. That was a great idea.
You don't always think of the great things.
Shoot, I'm still in that one.
Okay, so that's pretty much all we have for tonight.
That's it. Bye.
About the forms. Again, for any of these forms, they're free. FREEE. Don't have to swipe the phone.
And they're all, the purpose is solving your problems.
Yeah.
So we're going to solve your problems. And if you have other problems that you're dealing with, message me and let me know what your problems you're dealing with are, because maybe there's 5 other forms I can make that'll help you with your problems, because I know the rules and laws and regulations and how to apply them in each situation. So tell me what your situation is, and maybe I can make something for you that will relieve some tension and some pressure from you. I want you to be able to report your injuries and get the help you need, and then get back to work, and then make it to retirement. That's the goal. That's my goal for you. Whether it's yours for yourself, that's on you. But I don't want you ending up on disability. I want you ending up at retirement, actual retirement. And I think that's a good goal.
Again, if anybody wants to buy volume 1 of the book, it's pinned down below. Tap it if you can't see it. Tap the pinned comment. And also our 877 number to get in contact with us in case you have any questions or anything. Or you can always message us. Myself, Emmy, or Jennifer, we're always answering the questions.
Pardon me.
And so, Julia, yes, see you tomorrow. Julia is also coming from the Boston office, and everybody's asking how Ron's asking how Gizmo's. Here's Gizmo. Last Thursday, he had eye surgery. You guys saw it was really sad. He had a little cyst. They removed it. Plus, he had 2 teeth taken out. So he couldn't eat.
That's what he gets for not brushing his teeth.
So he's in the cone of shame until next week. And
look at his face, too. He needs a haircut in the worst way.
He's going to go see his girlfriend in 2 weeks, too, to go
Aunt Mary
to get him all cleaned up and ready for his Utah trip with his cousins. He's going to be seeing his cousins. So everybody, with that said, we will see you guys next week. Next week we're going to do Q&A. So you ask, we answer. Get your questions ready. Any kind of question. Let's go
ahead and make them about OWCP.
Try to stump Chris.
Good luck. I'm pulling for you.
It is just OWCP injury questions.
Yeah.
So again, thank you all for watching tonight.
Gizmo loves you very much. Say hello.
And again, the forms you can use as a travel pillow.
I know.
Gizmo. Oh, you know. Gerald Adams said, "Are you guys coming to Maryland, District of Columbia, or Virginia in the area?"
As a matter of fact, we have 2 possibilities there. That's an actual really good question. That DC, Virginia, Maryland area is one that we know is important.
Yeah. Eric, we do not know any doctors in California for a schedule award, unfortunately. Sorry. I know this is going to suck because we hate to go down this route, but you may want to try going on to the ACS website.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Look, in a couple of weeks, my book will be out. Take a look at the chapter on schedule awards. It'll help you, help yourself, all of you. It'll help you help yourself with your schedule awards.
And this is why we need you guys to help us get doctors in those states that don't have any doctors at all, especially California and New York. We know you guys are asking, and we're doing our campaign of recruiting doctors.
Yeah.
Hi, Gizmo. Can you
It's Julia.
invite Tom and bring Gizmo? Oh. I know everybody wants us to bring Gizmo, but he's able to fly with us if we have to fly. Maybe next time we fly, we could bring him, but unfortunately, we can't bring him this weekend on invite. No, I got you, Julia. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching tonight. Don't forget to follow, like, and share. Tell your friends to watch us every week at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
And this loopy woman needs to go to bed.
I'm all over the place. I just don't feel good. Yeah. Those of you that are going to be in Orlando, hope we get to see you guys in Orlando. And you guys have a good night and see you next week.
We're out in 3, 2, 1.